You know that the makers of this goddamn game right here purposely made it fucking hard so that way people would rent it more at Blockbuster. Thanks for ruining my childhood. Intro.
I am sensing some pent up hostility and aggression.
It's been keeping me up at night, man.
Like,
keep me up at night. When I learned
there
that
is
game company made that game as hard as it was, just so you'd rent it more at Blockbuster.
Do we need to unpack this a little bit?
We should.
I don't
get triggered whenever I see that game.
No, let's not.
I have a lot of emotion inside of me, and I don't know what to do with it.
That sounds a little familiar. What's going on, guys? How you doing?
All right, how you doing?
Well, everybody, welcome back to Cover Down episode Who Gives Shit? Because we're just gonna keep doing them, right?
Fair enough.
Today we have with us Mr. Tormented Vet, fellow YouTuber, who's doing quite well for himself. Here to talk about some pretty awesome stuff and his journey. Yeah. What's going on, guys?
Good. Another beautiful day.
Yeah, go ahead and tell us about yourself. Tell us about who you are and what you do.
Well, my real name's Dustin. I go by Tormented Vet, of course, on YouTube.
Hi, Dustin.
And hello. And I do reaction videos to music and various other things from time to time, and just kind of give my perspective as a veteran and how I have lived my life, and give basically my interpretation of that music.
All right, what branch did you serve in?
I was in the Army.
Yeah, buddy. That's what I'm talking about. Now the scales are evenly weighted today.
Finally, yes, we got one. Not a whole lot of smart ones out there.
Smart enough.
Thanks for being the first there, Mr. Tormented Vet.
Yes, sir.
Wow. Let me grab my med pack kit, because those were some shots fired, son.
That's okay.
You
live your life on what? A boat?
That's right. Long, hard, full semen, and I love it.
Yeah.
Hey, here goes Seth and Nick. Wave bye. You're muted, Nick. Thanks for, again, more audio issues. How long you been doing this for?
Don't include me in your bullshit.
All right. How what were your years of service?
I first joined just after 9/11 happened in 2002. Okay. And which 9/11, I was on the couch asleep as that was going on, and my mom had actually called me. I was on the couch, like I said, knocked out, and my mom calls me and she's like, "Hey, turn on the TV." And I was like, "For what?" Just turn on the TV. I was like, "Okay, what channel?" She said, "Just turn on the TV. It don't matter. It's on every channel." So I turned the TV on just in time. It's like 10 seconds later, the second plane hit.
Ooh.
And I was like, yep, we're about to go to war. Mm-hmm. And because I knew a lot of people wouldn't, I went to the recruiter station.
Good deal. And how long?
And that was in 2002, and I just got out in 2018.
Oh, okay. All right, sweet. What was your MOS?
91 Bravo. I was a mechanic.
Thank you.
Sweet. Yeah, there we go.
That.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
So that was after was it lightweight or
all right,
heavy?
So yeah. Not in 2000. What was it? 2008. They switched it from 63 Bravo over to 91 Bravo.
That's what I'm talking about. 63 Bravo, baby.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that was my profession. Lightweight vehicle mechanic.
Yes, sir. Now it's a general. Now it's just general, because they make us work on everything.
Yeah.
As long as it's got a motor inside of it, I promise you I've worked on it.
Oh yeah. Yep, that's the way it was in 03 and then 05 to 06. Grand Battalion Motor Pool, and they were like, I was like, this doesn't fit within the classification though, because that's more than 5 tons. And they're like, is it a diesel motor? And I'm like, well, yeah, technically. And they're like,
does
well,
it have wheels?
Yeah, you can fix it. All right then. So bring it on in.
Yeah, because I even asked the question one time because they asked me to go work on a track vehicle, and I was like, this doesn't have wheels. And he's like, you see those round things? I was like, you see that big chain that goes around them? And I was like, yeah, but the little round things, those are still called wheels.
Unfortunately, that is the truth.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Well, of course it makes sense to you.
To a squid, you know.
Yeah, damn right.
Love this.
Just because
I'm just going to sit back and listen. I'm just going to sit back and listen. This dude's going to take care of all the roasting for me.
How to make
rocks. So let me ask you.
Rocks make steam.
Right? Steam makes boat go.
So you said that you do reaction videos to like songs and stuff like that. How did that even become a thing?
Let's talk about music. Oh my God, let's talk about music.
I started out, I was working with some nonprofits, and it turns out those nonprofits weren't really satisfying my need to reach out and help veterans. And it ended up turning out in the long run, what I've been doing helps more than just veterans, even though that's primarily my goal. I actually came across, and I'd be lying to you right now if I tried to remember what his name is, but I came across another guy that was doing a reaction video to a song, and he was a veteran as well. And I was like, huh. So I was like, let me give it a try. You know what I'm saying? And then it just took off. I monetized my channel in, what was it, 3 months?
Shit.
Jesus.
So, and
Doug react to some shit. Jesus Christ.
Right. Like most, I would say something above like 90% of YouTube channels, when they start, they usually don't see 1,000 subs within the first year and a half.
Yeah.
Now I saw my first 1,000 within 3 months and was monetized there shortly after. And what I was doing, whatever it was I was doing was working. I was just being me, reacting to how those songs made me feel. And I've actually got one guy that I know for sure that has emailed me. He sent me, I don't know if you'll be able to see this very well, but he sent me this pennant.
There you go.
Okay. Yep.
He sent me this pennant, which is something that was written on one of my social media things. And then this guy's from Australia, by the way. He was in the Australian Army. He also sent me his unit patches, Australia flag,
sick.
And his unit patch.
I like that.
Because like he's said that him listening to what I've been doing on my channel has helped keep him from that dark place and doing unspeakable things.
Yeah, so I've watched a lot of your videos, and I don't want to say like I think I've pinpointed why you found great success, but I can tell you why. And it's because one thing that I've noticed right off the bat is you don't come in hot and heavy like every other single YouTuber, right?
Right.
You kind of come in and you're like, hey guys, what's up? It's very low key. It's not monotone, but it's not like you're trying to grab everyone's attention by the big flair and the loud voices and the grand gestures and stuff. So I think that resonates with a lot of people. But then also too, what I found is, one, you do focus a lot on the mental health aspect, but more importantly, you focus a lot on like the male mental health aspect, which, I mean, let's be honest, it's not it's not widely talked about.
It's not.
And you do it so open and so raw to talk about your own feelings and talk about what you're going through when you hear the songs and stuff.
Right.
But then also too, you're not afraid to play those controversial songs like, you know, Tom McDonald, Adam Calhoun, stuff like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
You are not afraid to
no.
go in there and play those, even those, like some of the titles of those songs. Like I'll play, you know, Tom McDonald and Adam Calhoun on my motorcycle, and I have to either like turn it down or switch the song riding through certain parts of town or whatnot, because I mean, I don't want to get jumped or anything, but
And if they don't like it, they can walk away, brother.
Right. So I mean, I think it's because it's just like you have hit something so far, or hit the nail directly on the head, that it's waking up a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, one of
to
the
what's going
biggest
on.
problems is there's so many people out there that are afraid to just sit down and have a conversation about things they don't agree about. And they get to the point where it's like, oh, well, I don't agree with you. I can't associate with you anymore. And it's plaguing our social gatherings and just interactions with other people in general. And
it goes back to that whole thing that you said when you did the Sound of Silence, and it was people's inability to communicate, but also too, I think it's people's inability to listen.
Yes.
So the song is kind of twofold. And when you were, because I was watching that one last night, and that's when I'd sent you the message, and I was just like, hey, I think there's like another layer to this. But it's how many people are speaking, but nobody is listening at that point. So it's, I love what you do. Like, I'm obsessed. I am
appreciate it.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
you covered Dak so many times that to be a man video on like multiple levels, and every single level, I was like, man, this dude he is spot on.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that song just because it gets me a little emotional.
Yeah, it gets you right in the feels.
Hey man, you can't be afraid of your emotions, my friend.
And then Darius Rucker has to come in, and then like he has to knock it out of the park.
Right.
Yeah, I did that song, what, 3 times now?
Yeah.
Or no, wait. Yeah, 3 times. Because he did it with himself.
175 videos.
The mega remix, 45-minute video.
Yeah.
And the thing, like, one of the things that I pride myself about my videos, all of my videos, I don't know if y'all have noticed, they're all uncut. Like, I try my best, like maybe like after or before, if like I see like I boo-booed something or whatever, then I might do a jump cut or something like that to get rid of like this little thing. But during the song that I'm reacting to, everything is absolutely as authentic and raw, no cuts. And that's one of the things I pride myself about, because like I want everybody to see like my actual authentic reaction to what's going on in the song, whether it's something that's going on in the video of it, or if it's in the music or in the lyrics. It's just, I want them to see what I'm feeling and not see jump cuts. And because I mean, in my opinion, jump cuts, you can kind of go back and do whatever you want.
Yeah, you can. I mean, you could. There's even people who will take a moment at the end and like compose their thoughts, and then have a little bit more in-depth thing from it. But no, I think the way you're doing it is probably the best way.
Yeah.
Because even if it leaves you a little flustered or lost for words, that says a lot too. I mean, and it's a visual medium and what you're doing, so that'll help. But yeah, you can cut yourself out when you stub your toe on your desk and you're like, oh,
yeah. Yeah, I that's one of the things that I really want to keep going. And it's like, there's people that comment and they're talking about, oh, you got to quit pausing, stop pausing, you're ruining the song. And I'm like, dude, if you want to watch the song and not be interrupted, go watch the song. Don't watch this video, because I'm going to pause the song. I don't care what y'all say. I can't please everybody.
Yeah. And what I absolutely love about it too is the fact of like so many people, and maybe more so in the veteran community, but I do know a lot of people. And again, I sent this message to you last night and shared a little bit of a story. Like, people communicate through music.
Right.
And again, people's inability to listen and whatnot. Like, when I'm having a tough day, or I'm in that metaphorical rabbit hole, I will be playing, you know, the Jelly Roll Save Me. I will be playing the
yeah.
Dax To Be a Man. I do have a playlist for when I'm processing my thoughts and I am processing certain things. And if people would just take a step back and listen to those songs and listen to the words, but then more importantly, just watch your videos and then come at it from a combat vet perspective, then they might understand like what somebody else is going through or what
Right.
their thought process might be. Because then it's just like, and I told you again in the message, like my son, you know, he has that song. Gosh, I just had it. I have the messages up here.
Fruit salad, yummy, yummy by Bananas in Pajamas.
Yeah.
No.
I just want to point out where the hell was
straight
this
and narrow
music-loving Doug for the
Carter.
last year and a half of this show?
Dude,
Whenever
I'm
I talk
telling
about
you.
music, you just shake your head and go, "Oh, there goes Seth again."
Well, it's because every single time we talk about music, you're talking about like death metal and getting your face melted off.
It's
and
not
then
death
this guy
metal.
was doing this really sick riff, and then my face just melted. And I'm just like, all right, bro, my face never melted. Like,
Nick,
I
he's
might get the
stomping all over
goosebumps.
our lifelong memories.
I love you, buddy. I love these guys, but like my son, we have a song, the Straight and Narrow by Sam Barber, and I know when he's going through, you know, the things in his head, because it's like he has certain playlists, and I've learned his, I guess, his language or his unspoken language, that when he's having a tough day or he's struggling with something, he plays certain songs. And I think he plays those in the truck, or he'll play them, you know, on his phone when he's cleaning his room or something, in an attempt for me to go up to him and be like, "Hey buddy, what's going on? How are you feeling? You know,
His way
what's
of
going
reaching
on in
out.
your head?" Right. And that's the thing. And I'm very open with him about like my struggles, and if I'm having a tough day or if I'm just feeling a little bit off, you know, I'll communicate that with him. But I absolutely obsessed with how you just put that perspective into it. And I mean, you know, Seth and Nick, they're both veterans too. And Seth has said this plenty of times where, you know, we wear that veteran badge, and but Seth's not going to know what you and I walked through. He's
Right.
not going to know what we've seen. Or I mean, I could just say, "Hey, remember that smell?" And you're going to be like, "Oh, yep. Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about."
It's the one comment that kills me constantly.
What's that?
No, the remember the smell thing.
Yeah, there's always
Well,
that
I mean, it
smell.
does it for two reasons. One, my itching curiosity. Right. And the other one is that it is the strongest sense connected to memory.
Yeah.
Right. That's
the best. I think the best way to describe that smell is a mixture between garbage, food, and diesel.
Oh, yeah. And you don't know which one you're picking up on at any given time. Yep. It's bad, but I mean, I love it. Love what you're doing. Love the message that you're sending, and loving the spin that you're putting on it to like educate others who come across your videos.
I appreciate that.
And you know, might want to know a little bit more. And I love how open and raw and honest everything is. Like you said, there's all this authenticity, and in this organization, we pride ourselves on authenticity. We are who we are. We're human and whatnot, but we don't try to push this narrative or persona of people that we're not. And I love the fact that you're just, you can see in a couple of videos, you know, you getting choked up. You know, getting you right in the feels, and you don't hide it though. And that's what I absolutely love.
I think people need to see it though. Because like that's the biggest thing when I started this was people talk about it, but nobody sees it.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to shy away from letting people see it.
Yeah, another thing, because it's not just music, you also do a lot of video stuff, movies. One of the last ones I watched was hold on, I have my notes here.
I know which I think
of Bagger Vance.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where the I forget his name, but the main character in the movie was having a flashbacks to when he was, and I think the time frame was World War II.
Yeah.
And he was having flashbacks from that. And Bagger Vance was trying to help him get through that. And I think that really, I think that really showed a really strong message and being there for other people.
Yeah, you definitely go into some deep thought, which I think is important. I think it's probably an aspect that's missing from a lot of people nowadays in
Right.
various aspects of society, is to think deeply. But one of the things you touched upon in that video, as well as in a few of your other videos, is finding a purpose.
Yes.
And so my question is two parts then.
Huge.
Do you feel like what you're doing has found you a sense of purpose?
Oh,
And
absolutely.
on top of that, how important in your mind is finding a sense of purpose,
Paramount.
whether it be for a veteran or for anyone in general?
Paramount. It's of absolute most importance, because once you lose purpose in life, what do you have to live for?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if you okay, essentially you've given up. If you've lost that sense of purpose, you've given up, especially if you're not going to look for anything else. I for a long time treated my family horribly. And that was when I found out that I was dealing with PTSD, because it doesn't just show up right away. Everybody deals with it in time, and it shows up eventually, so on and so forth. And it's like, I treated my wife horribly. I treated my kids horribly. And once I realized what was going on, I had to seek help myself. And then eventually it eventually led to me doing these videos that would turn out helps me more than most of the people watching the videos and commenting and stuff like that will ever know.
Mm-hmm.
Does your like wife like how old are your kids, if you don't mind me asking?
One's 9. He's actually about to turn 10 next week.
Okay.
The other one's 8 and the other one's 5.
Okay.
Mhm.
Does your wife and say like the 9-year-old do they watch the YouTube
Oh yeah,
videos?
absolutely. They usually, normally what happens is I'll
They
post a
better. We
video.
need those counts.
Right. Normally what will happen is, as soon as I post a video, the wife will get it on the phone and put it up on the TV, and they'll all sit down and watch it.
Okay. Have you found that posting those videos and then being open, raw, and honest has maybe helped a little bit in your wife understanding what's going on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Perfect.
And
Love
it's
it.
for the kids that are old enough to understand, it's also helped them.
Yeah, it might be a little bit tough, but still, it kind of gives them a little bit of insight.
Right.
So I have a question to
Okay.
kind of go back to what we were talking about with the sense of purpose thing. And this is an open question for anybody in the room. That includes our producer. A lot of us, I think we could say, strive to find that sense of purpose. Hi, producer. Like we need it. I know I need it for sure.
Right.
And every one of us here has a family of some sort. Do you guys ever feel like you had the struggle where you're looking for that sense of purpose and you're going, well, shouldn't my family be that sense of purpose?
No.
But at the same time, you're like, but it's not quite what I'm looking
No.
for. It's still super important to me. Right?
Absolutely.
All right.
You're
Like, there's something that has to be like,
it has
just
to be for
mine.
you.
Yeah. Is there a dichotomy there? Is there an internal struggle?
100%. You have to find a purpose that's for you, not for your family, not for anybody else. It has to be for you. It has to be something that you enjoy, something that you get satisfaction out of.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, for some people, and it's going to be different for every person. It's like, motorcycles is my life. It's all I do. Right. And
Nick, I'm with you, bud. Don't worry.
I have a TikTok. I also have another YouTube channel, all under the same name. But it took me a long time to really find my purpose. My purpose right now is trying to help other people.
Mm-hmm.
And one day at a time. I've saved many, or at least so they have told me, I've saved many people's lives just by doing the content that I've been doing. I've had people send me emails saying, hey, thank you for what you do. I really appreciate it. It pulled me out of a dark place. Hey, thank you for what you do. I was literally about to pull the trigger, and because of watching your video, I didn't. Mm-hmm. And like hearing or seeing somebody say that just mind-blowing.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. There, it has to be for you. Like your family is an aspect, right? As
Oh, absolutely.
fathers and husbands and all that other stuff and whatnot, we definitely do need to show up for our families and stuff. But finding a purpose, it has to be what makes you feel whole and what fulfills that missing piece, right? I mean, I struggled with finding purpose and struggled with, where do I fit in this cog and in this world. And when I felt like I didn't have the purpose, I felt like I didn't have an identity. I didn't feel like I was useful or anything.
That's a really good way to put it.
Yeah.
And then I get involved with the nonprofit stuff. And then next thing you know, it's all of a sudden it's kind of like the puzzle pieces just slowly kind of coming together to build this overall picture. And then all of a sudden you realize we might not be out there, as guardians, we might not be out there changing the world. We're not changing thousands and thousands of lives. But at the same time, if it's that one person that steps up and is like, hey, thank you for what you do, it makes it all worth it.
Yeah.
And I mean, just yesterday we went out to up in town, we went to a food truck festival. And of course, I'm rocking my Guardians gear as I always do, because it's really the only thing that I wear. And somebody comes up and they're like, hey, I met you last year at the VFW and all this other stuff. And like, I recognize the logo. I just want to say thanks for what you're doing. You're giving the combat wounded vets in Connecticut and Rhode Island a place to go, and you're giving them a home, and you're giving them hope to not give up.
Right.
And right there, it was like, okay, that's enough fuel to just keep that fire
Kind of grabs
going.
at your heart a little bit, just kind of pulls on those spirit ducts a little, you know what I'm
it
saying?
does, but also at the same time, like, it makes you feel good, and you do
Yeah.
kind of have to like pop your collar a little bit and just be like, yeah, we're putting in the work. Yeah. And I mean, I don't want to sound like cocky, or I don't want to sound like conceited or self-centered, but when you get that compliment, you do realize that all the hard work that your team puts into something, it's making a difference and it's being seen.
It's the most selfish / unselfish act that we can do.
That's a good way to put it.
We help other people because it makes us feel good, and we like that feeling.
The most selfless way to be selfish.
And I'll go on to quote Seth, you never met him, unfortunately. Ransom or Nick, you met him. Pops always said, he was a Gold Star father. And during an interview, somebody asked him, why are you so heavily involved in, with the Guardians and nonprofits? And he said, word for word, because it makes me feel good to make somebody else feel good.
Yes.
And right there, I was like, Pops, you hit the nail right on the head, buddy.
You got it.
Not just that, though, right? I think all of us can agree it's a different kind of family when you're overseas, deployed, doing whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The bonds that are created in combat are nearly inseparable.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how tight your family is. Once you have that bond with your brothers and sisters, like, that's not something you can replace by going home.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
And I think that might kind of explain also why, when we're looking for that purpose, it's the purpose outside of the home.
Yeah.
Right.
I thank you for your honest opinions on that, because that is a question that I get played with a lot from just a lot of people. And it's, I want a purpose, but I feel guilty that I don't seem to think that, my house is my purpose, my home, my family.
Right.
And they are, like, they absolutely are, but it's something different,
Well, the way I like to think about it, your home and your family is your responsibility. It's a very different word with a very different meaning. Your purpose is something that you do that keeps you going as a person in society.
Yeah. And it also too, it could be classified as your definition of the meaning of life.
Yeah, your
Right?
legacy.
Because it's
Yeah.
I've always told people, like, what is the meaning of life? It's what you make of it, right? We're all put on this earth for a reason. What is that reason? We have to figure it out.
Yeah.
And if you don't search for your purpose, you don't search for that reason, then you're never really going to understand or find the meaning of life. Or, I mean, I don't want to say find true happiness, but you're never going to find where you fit and where you're comfortable. And we all have a mission to complete. What is that mission? You have to find it. And I think everyone in this room, has found their purpose, and they have found a reason why they've been put on this earth. That's
Absolutely agree.
not round.
That. Why you got like?
I can see the fire building in his eyes.
Like you could just, it's like, hi, I'm Doug. I'm climbing this awesome mountain of existentialness, and then I just dive the hell off of it into a pool of killing me, man. Like,
I do it.
Solid point at some point in time. Stop acting like a Marvel movie and undercutting everything with a chip.
I do it because I love you.
You almost had it, man. You almost had it. Well, I mean, you said in one of your videos that one of the things about the veteran community is that when one veteran sees another one, it's actually in the same video we were talking about, that we're just going to help.
Right.
I think that kind of comes back to the general topic of belonging to something that is larger than yourself.
Right.
My personal belief that is one of the key components to having a joyful life, at least,
right,
is committing yourself to something that is bigger than you are. And that can be in multiple things too. That could be in religion, that could be within your community, whether it's veteran community or your local community, however you want. But committing yourself to something that is much larger than what you are, I think can bring some great perspective on things.
Absolutely.
And then, so I think that's where I come from is that, this was my community for years. This was the place that I showed that I wasn't worthless, like I was before the Navy. So I continue to want to commit myself to it. Just because I love every single one of my brothers and sisters, regardless of the length or type of service that they had.
Yeah. I've unfortunately have met some that are not of the greatest character, but if I was to pass by them and see them in need, I would still help them nonetheless.
Yeah. And even if they are like that, even if they don't have, or have some questionable characteristics, you kind of still want to help them,
Yeah, they're still
and
brothers.
like, hey,
they're
you
still
can
sisters.
still change, and that's one of those like little aspects that people don't realize, that when you're in the military, that one of the things that are instilled in us, not only as part of the culture, but part of our job as well, was growing others.
Right.
Right. Because we're all eventually taught to be leaders, right? My camera is doing some weird ass shit right now.
It really is. You gotta turn the autofocus off.
I guess so. We were meant to train others, right? To grow them as people, to grow them as leaders, as individuals. So when we get an opportunity to do that, we do that. Nick, don't look at me like I didn't grow you at some point.
Can you talk about how your growth was? I don't know what I'm doing. It's your show. Make me look not like a shitbag.
Hey,
it's not like
you made rank, didn't you?
Oh, Monique has something to say to you real quick.
You look a little bit like Jimmy Neutron.
Oh, thanks so much. Jimmy Neutron, all go up. Got a blast. So for those who don't know, Nick and I served together. I was his leading petty officer. And by leading petty officer, I mean I was just the petty officer that outranked him that was there.
Presence.
Yeah. Yeah.
The greatest gift he gave me was the lack of presence.
Oh,
hey, you're welcome. You're welcome from all those times you looked around and went, "Where's Seth?" And it was noon. No, Nick did a good job running that shop. So
what's on the horizon? Is it still going to be the same trajectory, or do you have like classified stuff in the works?
I eventually, once the channel grows enough that I'm bringing in enough revenue in order to do so, I want to take this more into a vlog setting to go out and help veterans.
Okay.
And because unfortunately, helping people costs money,
Yep.
and nothing is cheap nowadays, as we know.
Oh, we know.
Yeah, and so I've grown quite well, but I'm not there yet. So for the foreseeable future, until I can get to the point where my monetization is stable enough and bringing enough revenue that I can take this outside of my spare bedroom, then I plan on getting out there to where I can find veterans that are in need, maybe even do some traveling and go, partner with people and try to do some events. Like maybe even I could come out there with y'all and go do a thing, whatever. It's just the money's got to be there in order to do it. And as we know, nothing's cheap nowadays.
Okay. Have you thought about, like, do you have any music talent? Like, can you sing, play an instrument, anything like that?
I can play instruments.
Okay.
So, I mean, I have a music background, so it's not like I just go into the music completely blind.
Right.
Well,
So
hold on.
I can't sing
what
for
kind
shit.
Of music background do you have?
Well, I through band, high school, middle school. I was in the band all through high school and middle school, played in the marching band, was sit first chair in just about everything that I played. What didn't I play?
Mm-hmm.
But I started on trumpet. I played trumpet, then I played French horn, mellophone, and then I toyed around with flute, clarinet, drums, what else? Saxophone, a little. Kind of just about, I'd steal people's instruments and try to play them. That's pretty much kind of what happened.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I'm the guy who went online and bought like a violin, like 150.
Oh, I did that too.
Right. Got it to the house, learned how to play Crazy Train on it, and then never touched it again. I was like,
yeah, I went
that out. That was easy.
So I was living in Hattiesburg, Mississippi after I had gotten, or just before I went on my first appointment. And I'm living there, I'm by myself, just in my little apartment. And I was just, I want a violin.
Yeah.
So I went and bought a violin. I went and found the cheapest violin I could get, because I was like, I'm not trying to dump like 10 grand on a violin, because those things I found out can get ridiculously expensive.
Yes.
And I went and found the cheapest violin I could find, and I played it for like 2 months.
Thanks, first act.
So, and then I put it down. I got bored with it real quick. I played guitar for a long time. I kind of want to play again, but
yeah, me too.
Seth, if you're really looking to get into guitar, there is a organization that's local called Guitars for Vets, and they teach you how to play guitar, and like they brush up on your skills.
I mean, I already know how to play. I just don't have a guitar.
So the Guitars for Vets thing, you will have to go to the VA and go see the mental health, and they will have to refer you to that program.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah. Actually, they have the same thing here in the Dallas area. So,
okay.
And I tried to do that, and then I was like, yeah, I'm not trying to go through the whole mental health thing, because that's going to take months.
Yeah.
Because the first appointment is going to be 6 months down the road anyway. And then by the time, like, I'm going to be fed up with it before the time even comes anyway. So,
so are you still playing, or?
No, I want to. I need to get another guitar so I can start playing again. But
yeah,
I probably haven't played a guitar.
Just judging by your history, what you told me, where like you're bouncing around from instrument to instrument to instrument.
Right.
Just sounds like music's inside you, man. Like that is the hallmark of a musician who just lives and breathes it. Like you close your eyes, and it's in your head constantly.
Right. Yeah. I've always been able to pick music apart and hear the different instruments regardless of what's playing.
Yep.
I still don't understand death metal.
You don't understand getting your face melted.
I can hear all of the music, but when they start screaming at the microphone, I don't know what they're saying.
It's an acquired taste.
That's what she said.
To be fair, turning that all the way up and then ripping 6th gear feels amazing.
What's that?
Yeah,
put
like
on death
metal
metal
as loud as you can, and then just
grabbing 6th gear on the bike.
Oh yeah,
yeah, especially on my bike for sure.
If you have a 6th gear,
stupid fast.
There's a stretch of highway in Florida that's about 12 miles long, with no on ramps and off ramps. And
Yo, that would.
a Jerkster 1000 eats that up real fast playing death metal. Just saying.
Real
Yeah, my ZX10 would eat that up pretty quick too.
Yeah. When all the trees just become like one solid color,
Yeah.
Oh God, Nick.
you can't even lift your head to see how
You
fast
really
you're going.
can't.
Yeah, I never rode with Nick. I rode behind Nick and tried to keep up with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You-
If you
you wasn't
stood
like
up, you
that.
turn into a parachute real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You come up over that windshield and it just snaps your neck back.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
But it's nice. It's nice to talk to somebody else, you know, or whenever I get a chance to meet somebody else who kind of just who embodies music like that.
right.
And I can definitely understand the hopping around from instrument to instrument because it's the aspect or the journey of discovering that instrument.
Exactly.
Like 'cause I always tell people who are first starting off with music that it's okay. Like we'll take guitar for example. It's okay just to play with it. Like
Yeah.
you don't have to make music. Just play with it. See what
I'd
it
be
does.
careful telling them that way, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Play
I
with
mean,
Okay.
my
Here we
head just went to
go.
a dark
You
place. Right?
know,
Just like,
tweak it a little bit if you need to.
but yeah. I completely agree with what you're saying though. It's like you can't be afraid to experiment.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that was Seth's motto in the Navy.
Right. That's you know what they say about submarines is that 100 guys go down and 50 couples come back up.
Yeah.
Wrong.
I always said that was a lie.
Wrong.
Right? Why is that, Nick?
49 couples come up because there's always one bastard that fucking cheats.
Oh my God, you guys are too much.
There's always
You
one.
guys are too much. I
We
love
didn't
it.
have gay chicken on the
I love
submarines.
it.
We just had sex.
Wow.
All right, so that took a
Wow.
turn.
Yeah. It normally does take a turn for the worst at some point in the show. This is right about the mark.
That's
Yeah,
that's about any veteron conversation, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. No, the only reason why I was asking if you
talk
had
about wieners.
the only reason why I was asking if you had like some sort of like music background and stuff, because I would love to see someone, and maybe there's someone out there that does it, that helps veterans take their story, who can play instruments, or takes their stories and turns it into their own
There is.
songs.
There is. And if you hadn't have said it, I could tell you who it was. But there's this organization that does exactly that. They pair up musicians with veterans and they'll make songs. Gosh, now I gotta look it up.
Do it.
That'll become my new obsession on top of your videos. I'm never gonna get any sleep.
We weren't sleeping anyways, Doug.
Yeah, I know. Who am I kidding?
The only one of the three of us that gets sleep is Nick somehow.
Operation
That's-
Encore.
Operation Concord.
Encore.
Oh, Encore.
Encore,
Like, I'm pretty sure that name's been used before.
There's a few of them out there. I think that the one that he was just talking about sounds familiar. There's also one, Songwriting with Soldiers. But yeah, I had actually come across this. One of the songs that I did was actually a result of that.
Oh,
I
really?
can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head which one it is, and I'll hit you back after.
Okay.
But one of the songs that I did a reaction to was a result of that as well.
Good
Wow.
deal.
Get rid of this bright light.
I'm gonna have to look that up now. So what do you let's step aside, or let's sidestep real quick. What do you do for a living?
I'm a
So, like,
mechanic.
okay, so you took your skill set from the military and
Right.
applied it to real world.
Yep.
Yeah, I couldn't do that just because that would have required a skill set to begin with. But
Yeah. So about those smarts.
Yeah, 'cause yeah, I thought you were.
talking about.
I thought you might have been in the mechanic field, because during one of your videos you had referenced or noticed that the camera was panning, and there was a guy wearing was it Bruckner's shirt or whatever it was, and you're like, yeah, we got some of our parts are
Bruckner's is a Volvo and Mack dealership.
Okay.
And they sell the Volvo and Mack tractors, like semi trucks.
Mm-hmm.
And that's also where we get our parts from, or some of our parts for those trucks that we work on.
Okay. Yeah, I thought it might have been in the mechanic field, but wasn't 100% sure.
Right.
So now, do you have a schedule that you release, or I should say, so first off, let me ask this: how do you come across what song that you want to
Good question.
basically review? Because obviously, with the amount of music that's being pumped out, like there's an endless supply of content for you.
Right.
So how is it that you go about applying that?
It depends, because just like anybody else, right? I still have my days, right? Like, I don't know if anybody noticed, and a lot of people don't, because I have enough content out there that they can just keep going through it. But I went about 2-3 weeks, I didn't post anything, and that was recent. And a lot of that came from, I was on a bike ride where we had one kid was about to miss his exit, and he tried to take the exit anyway at like 70 or 80 miles an hour.
Ooh.
And the little water barriers at the end of he hit those, split them.
God damn.
Ripped the bolts out of the ground and everything. He didn't make it. And I was one of the first few that showed up right after it happened. And my brain said, go help that guy. My initial thoughts. When I got to him and realized there's nothing anybody could do for him already, I realized at that moment, I just put myself in a dark place. And I went dark for about 3 weeks trying to get myself back in a better place so I could do videos. So it's like, I go through things all the time myself, whether it's self-inflicted or otherwise. But as far as how do I come about, it's some of it's various. It's just like you asked me to do a song for you. I have hundreds of people sending me requests to do videos, and being 100% transparent, it's like I screen the videos. You know what I'm saying? I won't watch the whole thing, but I'll watch enough of it to be able to determine, it's like, will this be suitable for my platform?
Okay.
If it is, then yeah, sure, let's go for it. And then of course, if it's not, because if it's death screamo stuff where the inaudible voices of the band, like you're gonna tell, like I'm gonna be listening to it and you're gonna tell, and it's like, no fucking clue what this guy is saying. And that's pretty much gonna be the whole video. It's like, did y'all hear what he said? Because I didn't hear a fucking thing. He's like, so
in other words, Seth's requests are never going to get processed.
What makes you think that is the only type of music that I listen to? I don't even listen to death metal that much. Like the metal that I listen to actually has great vocalists.
Like who?
Well, there are some good ones out there.
Hell, I've been on a Sturgill Simpson kick for the last week and a half. So
yeah,
no idea who that is.
You need to learn real quick.
You need to learn.
If you like Americana and country music. Have you watched the Falling in Reverse did Last Resort? Did it cover it?
I have. You watched my reaction to it?
Oh, you had a reaction to it? We
I
have
do.
175 videos, which
you're not wrong.
Almost 30,000 subscribers. So
I did do a reaction to that.
Off, man. I was listening to that in the truck and I was like, I gotta turn that off. Like that is not the feelings that I got when I first listened to that song as a teenager. And I'm like, holy shit. Like he definitely made that song have an entirely different tone to it.
Oh, dude, he absolutely, like, did you see the video where the original artist reacted to his video?
Yeah,
he was blown away.
Yeah, he gave him permission to it because he showed him the demo.
Did you know Papa Roach? Did you know Papa Roach used my reaction video to one of their songs?
Oh no shit!
Yeah, it's on their Instagram. Yeah, it's on their Instagram.
Wow.
And I dude, here's the thing that I don't get.
Sir.
Like they used my part of my reaction in that video, and I completely botched it. I botched that whole video because I forgot when I did my editing, I forgot to take the window for the music video and make it smaller so you can actually see me throughout the video. So it's like the whole video while the music's playing, you can't even see me. But I keep pausing it as I usually do to do my reactions. But it's just a music video.
Hey, at least you got the content. We've done entire episodes and had nothing to show for it afterwards.
Oh, I've done, dude. Just the amount of times
It
I've
wasn't
done that.
Nick's fault. It wasn't Nick's fault. Love you, boo.
You need my combat lifesaver bag over there, Nick.
It was kind of my fault.
That episode was just for us.
Let's see.
It was that Guardians After Dark episode we couldn't air on public YouTube.
I think that was just the episode where Doug and Seth were super angry the whole episode.
Wait, what were we angry about?
The government or something.
The government, the audio issues, like
the VA. The
Yeah,
fact that we still haven't beat Lion King on Sega.
yeah.
That was a really hard game to play.
It was. It really was. And they took all those games and made them hard just so you'd run them from Blockbuster more.
Oh, jeez. So one
What else you got?
of the worst things to deal with the reaction channel is this there's the copyright stuff. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Except for
how
all the
does that
times it
work?
says your video can't play in Russia. Then I'm like, I don't care.
Well, if you're using the content right, like for the way I'm using the content, because I'm reacting to it, I'm providing more information or just I'm transposing it to be my content versus just theirs.
Yeah.
It falls under what's called fair use.
Yeah.
Okay.
And under fair use, reactions and commentary to videos is completely legal. Now, sometimes it doesn't go through. So I'll make a video for basically nothing. And it is what it is. But there'll be some of the content owners that they'll reject my stuff. And then when I go appeal it, they'll reject that as well and then do a takedown. I just end up like, okay, that's fine. I just won't do anything of your stuff anymore. So, I mean, because
we haven't really had that problem yet. Like I said, the furthest we got was like a couple of our videos wouldn't play in Russia. And like I said, who cares?
Yeah.
communism, am I right?
I know, right?
But yeah, but I mean, one of the things, because I've got people that comment on my videos from Russia,
Mhm.
so I try to make sure that I can be seen worldwide. Because I mean, you name a country, somebody has commented from that country, unless it's just like fourth or fifth world country.
Mhm. We have a large Greek following.
I wonder why that is.
Yeah.
I've got people from like several places in Africa.
That's crazy.
And I even got people from Iraq and Afghanistan that comment, which I've thought was funny. It's like we were over there doing work for like 20 some odd years, but it's like a lot of people don't realize we weren't over there to destroy the people.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
there's so many people that push that narrative.
Yeah. Do you ever
Yeah.
wonder, like, if like you have someone watching from like Iraq? Do you ever wonder, like, if they're watching your video and they're like,
I
"This
know
guy
that
looks
guy.
a little familiar."
I think he gave me a Pop-Tart at some
Yeah.
point in time.
Wait,
You
was
know?
this guy was throwing candy like a bunch of years ago?
Possibly, you never know, man.
That dude gave me a bag of chili mac.
Hey, Chili Mac was the best MRE, son.
yeah.
Like,
Gotta make sure a town doesn't
It's
shit for a
between
week.
chili or the chili mac, and my favorite was the meatball marinara.
oh yeah.
I have a
Dude,
meatball marinara in my truck right now.
nice.
You never know when you might need it.
You know what's sad? The closest thing I have to that now is Subway had meatball wraps. Oh man! And guess what they did? They took it away.
Ugh.
Oh.
I'm like, dude, last time I went to go try to order one, I was like, dude, I want to burn your fucking thing down like badly.
Subway, what are you doing? Like,
I was
Subway,
like-
get it together here.
I'm trying to eat fresh up in this bitch. And
Yeah.
You're killing it right now.
Like, I'm going to McDonald's.
Right? But
Appreciate
yeah.
you for giving me my way.
Oh,
It just
dude.
it's so weird because it's those little minute things. Just
Mhm.
takes you back. You're like, man, I remember that day I'm sitting out there on the side of the road, just waiting on like a tire to get changed or something stupid, chowing down on my MRE. Just
Yep.
good times.
Nothing will bring happiness by like nothing will bring that feeling of happiness back when you remember like trading your peanut butter for like
Oh,
the
yeah.
jalapeno cheese, or you hope like you're just having such a bad day. And I mean, there really wasn't a lot of good days, you know, when you're in Iraq or whatever, but you know, you're sitting there having a crap day and you crack open that MRE and you just see that like bag of Skittles, or you see
Yeah.
that little
Oh,
thing of
yeah.
Charms, and you're like, all right, life ain't so bad right now,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, the internal economic struggles of the military are
Yep.
much akin to a nice version of prison. I think.
Yeah.
Like Nick, how many times are we like?
It's the
you know,
longest.
I'll get you a can of like cherry skull for a pack of wire sheets.
Yo,
You know,
it's the
stuff in
longest.
my pocket so I don't smell. You know,
It's the longest series of bad days that still have good memories.
Oh yeah.
that's solid. That's a solid quote.
Yeah.
Hey, so here's an Army question. I was watching Generation Kill the other day, which is like the Band of Brothers for the invasion. Apparently, chiclets aren't allowed in Humvees.
Who?
Chiclets?
Chiclets?
It had to be. They're in our MRE.
Yeah.
Chiclets or zebra gum. I can't remember which one it was.
I
There was some like
never heard the zebra gum.
So you could be a badass soldier with zebra gum tattoos all over you.
Right.
there was just some band snack that they were like, that doesn't come in here because that's a bad day.
That's an internal thing to that unit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, is this like a bad luck thing?
Maybe.
Like you
Well, kind
never,
of like
you never tell the
submarines.
status of BMS, or you know, you hang chicken bones and.
Because I'm gonna be honest with you. Chewing on gum is kind of a good thing, especially when you're firing off rounds and you don't have earplugs. It keeps your ears from plugging up.
Really?
Yeah.
No shit.
Mhm.
I never would have thought of that. Huh.
Yeah, submarines. Anytime we're deployed and the hard pack ice cream comes out, you know something very bad is about to happen.
Yeah. Or when you wake up and there's like fucking lobster and shit, you're like, no, what's going on here?
Yeah, like, oh,
What's
we're 2
going on
weeks
here?
going in from the
Speaking of lobster, did you guys see that video where it's some female, she's in the DFAC or dining facility for you Navy personnel. She's sitting there and she got 2 lobster tails on her plate, and then she was like, oh, the cook likes me, I got 2 lobster tails, and you hear the person narrate the video and they're like, you fixing to go to the front lines.
Yeah,
right?
you are.
They know
It was-
something
it was
you
like-
don't know.
It was
Exactly.
steak and crab legs went right before they were like, hey, I know we were supposed to pull into port, but we're extending the mission about a month and a half. And then
Yeah.
at
So
the end of that month and a half, you went from eating crab legs to cheese sandwiches because that's all you got.
yeah.
Oh, dude.
Like, oh,
My
fuck,
3
no one's getting
what was it?
this
3.5 months. I didn't take a shower when I was in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
That was
How-
fun.
how
3.5 months.
Ooh, boy, you were ripe.
Oh, dude, we were all super ripe.
Just let me get in there. Just
And the thing about it is, like, to send mail out to where we were in Afghanistan, it from the States would take 2 months.
Jesus,
It was terrible.
just waiting on shampoo. You know,
No, you couldn't, like, we didn't have any water to use because all of our water was well water. We actually had a well that we had the locals dig through, and we had running water to like these trailers where they had showers in them. When we had one of the crews come out to service the well, clean it up, put it back down in there. When he went to put it back down in there, the cable broke and it went all the way down and smacked the motor on the bottom and broke it.
Damn.
So it took 3.5 months for us to get a new one so that we could get that working again. We started out using water bottles, but they realized we went through water bottles way too fast.
Yep.
And we almost went black on water, which if y'all don't know what that is, that means we almost ran out. So
Nick, what was the longest you went without a shower?
Without a shower?
Yeah.
He's like, what's today?
On the boat, Nick. On the boat.
about 12 hours.
Yeah, about 12 hours.
Really?
Good Lord.
God damn.
But-
You
I went
pampered
like
ass motherfucker.
4 weeks where I was like taking bird baths, maybe.
But like week 2 of deployment, our washer and dryer broke.
Oh.
So like we were like,
Yeah,
we covered them in the
that's-
sink.
That's about half as bad. You still
Yeah,
get
that
pretty
loose-
rank.
That loose, stretched out underwear. you
Oh,
can
yeah.
wear.
We were like laying over the nuclear pipes because heat, laying over all the good zoomies and radioactive bullshit to dry them off. You pull them off and they just be like one giant like plate of shit.
Wear
And then
front
2 weeks
back
later, your
flippers,
testicles
front
start to
back
glow.
Right.
Leave my
Yeah,
testicles out of it. It's a personal problem.
They were a problem for me. I got medevaced out.
Yeah, showers for us were like we had those trailers with the showers in it, but
Right.
so what a lot of people don't realize is in Iraq that culture, males are used for pleasure. So the females is just for keeping the family name and producing children, but the male demographic was just it was it was pleasure. And then we got wind that what was happening is because we had the TCNs, the third country nationals, coming in, and they would clean the showers and stuff. They were coming into those showers to clean them, and they were like trying to rape soldiers.
Yeah.
And then it got to the point where it was like, all right, well, obviously you have to have your battle buddy with you and stuff. And then people were just like, you know what? Screw it. We're just not taking showers anymore. And you'd go outside the hooch and you'd see like a pile of like, a garbage bag and people just throwing baby wipes in there. And you just people just wiping down their pits and stuff because they're like, we're not taking the chance of going in the shower and getting attacked or whatever. And it was to the point where it got to where at night they were coming by the hooches and they were like jiggling the door handles to see which ones were unlocked, and they were coming in and attacking and trying to rape soldiers at that time.
I would have shut the door.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
Like I had shower battle buddies on the boat, but for entirely different reasons.
Yo, I was 100% in your same mindset, Seth. Whenever I went to Afghanistan my first time, I was out in Wazikwa, and we had the local national army that was doing tower watch. Well, one night we're all bedding down. Next thing you know, we hear AKs going off. So what do? What we're trained to do? We all jump out, we kid up, still in our underwear, run outside barefoot,
Hell yeah,
across all the rocks, and we're going to wherever the gunfire is at. Well, it turns out the gunfire was one of the Afghanis shot the other one because he wouldn't give his booty up.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Took two to the leg, shattered his finger.
I like you and I want you.
Yeah.
The worst thing we got is the Phantom Jerker. I don't remember which deployment that was, but somebody was going around birthing and just like reaching up in the rat curtains and just.
Oh, God.
Hey,
he's not wrong, yo. I just want to point out something.
Confirmed by the other Navy guy. Oh my God.
Seth, you might as well just end it right there. End it.
No, I want to come back to something.
It's done, bro.
Why do you think I've been staying in for so long?
I'm not smart. My knee pads are strong. That it doesn't matter which branch of the service you're in. When shit pops off, someone's fighting in their underwear.
Oh
yes.
yeah.
Right?
Oh, I've been out in my underwear many times, dude.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, Nick can probably.
I eventually learned to quit
and shit in our underwear before. Like,
I eventually learned to quit sleeping in my underwear and at least put my PTs on. That way, I have something on more than just my dick flopping around. So,
yep. I mean, the base I was in Iraq, it was LSA Anaconda, nicknamed Mortaritaville, because we get mortared every day.
When were you there?
2005 to 2006.
You got there just after I left.
Oh, really?
I left 2005.
Oh, okay. So I was probably fixing the stuff that you broke. No, I'm kidding.
No, all of that stuff. No, all of that stuff that was built on the Army side.
Yep.
I had my hands in every bit of it.
Oh, sweet deal.
Damn.
Everything. Catfish air.
Yep.
All of the big tent aircraft, whatever dome things. I forget what they're called. Quonset huts.
Yep.
All of those things, everything all down that side, everything down there. I helped build all of it.
Damn. Yeah, I love that base. It was
we got
away
there
from home.
Yeah, no kidding. We got there right after they took the base over.
Okay. Yeah, but yeah, Mortaritaville. And then like you'd get there and you'd actually be wondering if, you know, the Taliban had called in sick if you didn't get mortared. And you learned to sleep with your PT shorts on or with your, you know, uniform bottoms on, because it'd be 2 o'clock in the morning and those alarms would be going off and you're grabbing full battle rattle, running out and heading for those concrete barriers. And then, you know, the first time you're running out there and your shit just flopping in the wind, you got your flak jacket on, you know, everyone looking at you like, where's your drawers at? You're like, oh, back at the hooch.
Yeah. No, I can definitely attest that I've been standing there in my boxers with like an EAB on, just a fire extinguisher in my hand. Like, where's your firefighting ensemble? Fuck it.
Yeah.
What happened, Nick?
I almost went to NJP for fighting one naked. I was like, the fire's out. Like, what do you want from me? Like, next time I'll let it burn. You're right. I'll just get dressed.
That's fine.
We got to the point
that's so
where
stupid, because like that's what will happen in real life. It's like you don't have time. You got to get this shit done now.
Yeah.
It's like the sad part is you while you're there, you get so used to hearing the mortars coming in because they come in constantly all through the day. You get so used to it, you hear them hit the ground, you just go back to sleep.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever had a moment like that, except for maybe testing when they would just announce like small amounts of flooding, and you're just like, whatever, I'm going back to bed.
I sleep through every dryer fire now. Like dryer fire, nah,
they got it. Well, I couldn't because I was on the opposite side of the dryer, so when it was on fire, I had to get the fuck out of my rack because it was coming in my rack.
You were down 21 man, weren't you?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Dryer fire.
All right, well, I'll get right back on track with this.
All right.
I just have to say you're doing amazing stuff. Do not stop what you're doing.
I appreciate it.
Please keep it, you know, as raw and honest as possible. And I know you're not going to deter from your trajectory and then how you're, you know, pumping out content and how you're doing it, but you've definitely hit the nail on the head with a lot of the stuff that you're talking about when it comes to the combat vet side and how you're processing that. And I think it's very, very, very relatable to a lot of people. And you're saying the things that other people are not saying, which needs to be said. So I thank you for that. I think it's a beautiful thing that you are doing. And I can't thank you enough for having the courage to maybe step outside of your comfort zone from time to time and get raw, get emotional with it, and show people that softer side of, you know, who you might be. So I thank you for that. You're doing fantastic stuff, and I can't see what you come out with next, buddy. This is awesome.
Thank you very much.
It's pretty spectacular stuff. And just to kind of go back to what Doug said earlier, is that not everybody can relate. So when you can make yourself relatable, it's great. Because like I could talk with Doug about some of his experience till we're both blue in the face, but it means a lot more when you're speaking to somebody who has gone through the same thing. So it's a service that honestly I can't provide, but I'm happy to see it being provided.
Well, I mean, even when it comes to like, because me and Doug, we've been to the same place. So we've been through a lot of the same things. But one of the things that I also recognized, you can have two people standing side by side, go through the exact same thing, but they interpret it differently.
Yep.
So that's part of the reason why I also started doing what I was doing, because a lot of people don't understand those things.
Yeah. Yep. All about perception.
Yes, sir.
All about perception. But
all right. Well, I think we'll end it there then.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, guys, thanks for coming on the show. Nick, do you got anything real quick?
Yeah, real quick. Shameless plug. May 18th, because this will be out in time. First annual Jeep Day. Come out, support us. If you don't have a Jeep, I don't care.
Yeah.
I wish I could be there. I have a Jeep.
It's National Go Topless Day.
Yeah, come out, support us. After the Jeep event, we'll be heading over to Waterford Speed Bowl to do a parade lap before the race on the track with the Jeeps.
And the bikes. Wait, are the bikes? That's July 3rd. Can I do
that's a different event.
Yeah.
But I can't bring my bike onto the track that day?
I mean, you can try.
Sorry.
Just
Wouldn't that be
send it.
fun?
If I can't go, I'm out. I'm done. See you guys later.
What else is new? But yeah, May 18th, cheap day, and then June 8th, our VP Monique, a beautiful wife, has been killing it putting together the poker run.
Yep.
This is our 8th annual poker run.
Nice.
So come out, support car, bike, tricycle, power wheel,
Nice.
Segway.
unicycle, whatever you want. Come out and support us.
Magical unicorn.
That's your street name, isn't it?
Magical unicorn.
Oh, there's that.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah.
Oof.
So thanks for tuning in again and coming in here and all about Tormented Vet. And
Make sure you guys like, follow, subscribe, everything.
man.
Hit all the buttons on Tormented Vet. It's if there's any channel you need to be following, not only ours, but definitely Tormented Vet. You are going to get a lot out of this. So
yeah,
Appreciate
and
that.
you got the Discord too, don't you?
I do. Being 100% transparent about the Discord, it's not done as well as I'd hoped originally, but it is there. So I mean, if people want to come and find
we
a
joined
place, huh?
So we joined it.
Yeah, if people want to find a
did.
place where they can find other like-minded people that are trying to find a place where they can reach out to for help, that's what I created it for.
Good. Yeah, sometimes it's nice to have that community that you know that even if it's just once in a while you can reach out to.
Right. Yeah, because it's no judgments at all. It's like because I've got a very wide variety of different types of people in there, and as long as you're respectful with everybody, then everybody's welcome.
That's good. All right, folks. Well,
Good deal.
we'll call it there. Thanks for tuning in as usual, and make sure to do like Doug said, go like, subscribe, not just to us, but to Tormented Vet here, and make sure we can build up that channel of his as well, so that way he can start doing more content on the road, going seeing stuff, maybe come see us. Until next time, though, stay proud, stay grateful. We'll see you later.